He got that on one hop, standing straight up, and there was nobody between him and the goal line.
Everybody was in a pile.
31-yard line, first big break for MacArthur. They have had a lot go against them here early. A lot of penalties and one big turnover. They'll try to convert this.
We got a defensive problem. Emery's not on the field. Where he was, I don't know.
He comes on late, gets there in time. Hand off to the fullback, big hole, look out, 20, 16-yard line. Brad Mouse right up the middle. That's 14 yards and a first down.
Kelvin Brooks playing nose guard. He's a regular linebacker, and he just got rolled up, and the coaches didn't like that. They called timeout, get their defense over here. The defense wasn't set.
First down at the 16. MacArthur with the first really serious threat of the game. They were at the 20 once, but fumbled. Now they got a first down at the 16-yard line. 11:39 left, second quarter. And since we got a break here, we're going to talk about Mr. Jim's Pizzeria. They provided pizza for the crew before tonight's ball game. Call them at 642-0161. That's their original location at 329 Marshall
But
Plaza.
they got two.
They do have two, and the other one's at 1205 West North Carrier Parkway. That's Suite 200A in Grand Prairie. That's the
If y'all buy enough pizza, they'll have three.
By golly, you're right. And Marilyn is not at Jim's Pizzeria. However, she is at K-Bob's.
Unless you go to K-Bob's,
Where
get
you'll
to
see
know
her.
Marilyn, ask her to go have a pizza with you at Mr. Jim's.
Okay, I don't imagine Pete and David would like that, though, because they like you to buy steak. They have fine steak.
Eat there,
And then go for pizza.
then go to pizza later with Marilyn.
Is that how you got to be the way you are?
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
A progressive dinner. Every night I eat everywhere.
K-Bob's is up until 11 on Friday nights after the ball game. If you're over this way, MacArthur is not going to come this way again this year, but when they come over here next year.
We talked about the Duncanville Gopher game. We won't see that on cable. We will see the Duncanville South Grand Prairie game. We will get to see Duncanville.
You will, I am told that you may see the Duncanville Grand Prairie game. I guess maybe Salmons is.
Oh, okay. Well, you might get to see it. Good.
Unless the Gophers lose, and then
Then we'll just black it out.
Yeah. Greatly. By the way, you will enjoy Duncanville when you see them. They are well coached and they are fun. There is
wide open offense, and David Need, a young man that I know real well, has played baseball for me before as a quarterback, and he's as good as any.
And off inside, nothing there.
That's a better play.
That's no gain, and that was number 61.
Greg Thorpe moved up to nose guard. They moved Brooks out. Greg, that's where Greg normally plays.
They'll give him about a yard, and that's it. Second down and 9. MacArthur is very definitely in field goal range.
Greg Thorpe was not playing nose guard. He made that play from his defensive tackle position. I'm sorry. Got to get some rush on him.
Richardson to throw. Going in the end zone. That's going to be over.
Way over.
And it was well covered anyway. Back there with him, number 7, Lee Robinson. Had good coverage.
Dubisky coming over to help out from his free safety position. That surprised me that they would throw on that second down and 9.
Richardson now 0 for 2 passing the football.
Now this is a big play because it's hard to guess. They're not scared they're rushing, and we keep saying that. With the Gophers, you can pretty well guess 3rd and 9, McCants going to put it up.
Looks like, if I'm just guessing here, I say sprint draw to Finch.
There it is.
They fake it.
Fake it.
And Richardson's got room. He's got a first down, 2-yard line.
Boy, was he open. Coach Murray is upset about some defensive play. I think it was Emery who was supposed to force upfield, and Michael dropped back and played pass defense.
That's a 13-yard run. It's a first down. It's first and goal at the 3. And you're not going to see anything but power football now.
You bet. It's handoff and straight ahead.
Under 11 minutes left in the second quarter, no score, but MacArthur with a threat. 3-yard line, first and goal. Full house backfield.
The line moved in. It's right over the middle.
Finch, left side.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Big 3rd down and 9, and the quarterback faked the draw like Russell called. He faked that play, rolled to the outside, no pressure from the end. He went upfield a little bit and then cut over the middle and was tackled at the 2, and that really was the play for the touchdown, not this power play that put it in.
Chris Henderson on to try the extra point.
Plenty of foot there.
Oh, you bet. And it is 7-0 MacArthur with 10:36 left in the second quarter. MacArthur folks across the way are happy. You can tell them they're the ones all dressed in red.
I don't know, Russell. Maybe we're going to be wrong, but I still believe that this is not going to be a one-touchdown game. Of course, it might be 6 touchdowns for Mac, none for the Gophers. The Gophers have got to get some offense on the field.
Okay, maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe I've gotten old, but across the way, there's a young man in MacArthur stands holding up a sign that says 2.9% financing. And wearing a party hat.
For you all people that keep up with me on the cheerleader count, Mac's got some nice, pretty young ladies, but they're only at 13, and that won't beat Duncanville.
Not going to get it done. In fact, I don't think that beats Lake Highlands.
Lake Highlands was at 15.
There's the sign, 2.9% financing. I don't know what he's selling, but the price is right.
Well, he's having a good time, got his hat on. He's academic All-American, probably.
Probably.
Only one of those would think of bringing a 2.9 sign, Russell.
Henderson to kick. Dubisky is not back. It is Lee. Fumble fallen on 24-yard line.
Need to bring that ball upfield, but they just don't want to give it to the deep backs. They're kicking that ball that way on purpose, folks.
Dubisky was not back to return the kick that time.
Duron and Lee, I believe.
Yes, it was. First down 10, 24-yard line. The Gophers' field position hasn't been horrendous, but it hasn't been very good either. And MacArthur has taken advantage of the one turnover they have received to lead the game 7-0. Russ Seaver here with you, along with Mike Lewis. Glad you joined us this evening from the Gopher Bowl. Fine high school football game. A lot of penalties, but a lot of good plays as well.
That same, it's over
There's
the middle.
The slant.
Whoa, they're not going, nope.
They're calling
I can't believe they don't call that.
Looked like Dubisky got bumped pretty good. No call there.
I think we're going to get holding on us in the middle, though.
That is the call.
Holding on us instead of interference 15 yards down the field.
At the very least, MacArthur's going to come out of that with offsetting penalties.
Coach Murray is over here on the sideline. You can get a shot of it talking to the ref, and he's upset. Not that ref. He's talking to the line judge. Dubisky was not allowed to run his pattern. He was hit 10 yards down the field.
They faked that
there
fade
he is.
pattern.
That's that referee explained it to us. No big deal, Coach.
They faked the fade pattern, then came inside on the quick slant. Pass might have been there. McCant to throw. Looking for Jones.
Trouble.
He's in trouble. Gets away. Gets a good block from Duron. Outside the 20 to the 22. He gains a couple. On pure athletic ability alone, and a nice block by Robert Duron to get him what he got.
But what he did, he made about nearly 5, but what he did was save his bacon back there. They're going to give him 4 on it.
Second down and 11 coming up. McCann looking at his offensive line saying, hey guys, I can throw if you give me a little bit of time.
I think he was being hurried there by another one of those linebackers coming through, Russell. They're really shooting the gaps and coming hard.
Dubisky has solo coverage, and it's tight. They're looking that way.
Trouble. Can't throw, though.
Gets it across the middle. Too tall for Stevenson.
You've got to give McCant time to set up. He can't be running around there, running for his life and trying to hit a man coming across the field. It just won't happen.
McCant's passing stats are not too impressive.
One reception for 24 yards and then 5 incompletes.
Third down, 11. The MacArthur defense has controlled this football game.
If he doesn't get time to pass, there's going to be no offense.
One thing is for sure, MacArthur's not going to let him run the football. Dubisky wide right, he is being double covered. That's Lee, slot right. Reverse coming to Lee, gets one block, and that's not going to be enough. The play is made in the backfield by number 47, Ned Delane, one of those linebackers who completely snuffed things. He doesn't get the tackle, but he's the reason it didn't go.
4th down and 10, and Mac gets this ball back and jams it down us. It could be a long night.
I don't recall seeing a team whose linebackers spent so much time in the other team's backfield.
Boy, they just come every time now.
McCant to punt. wobbly kick.
Yeah, but the
Taken on
sideline's
the
open.
35, 40, and they have great field position again at 39.
Got down on the sideline. That ball, they want to kick it straight up field. He kicked it over to the side, and the coverage wasn't there, and they've got it on our 38 again.
That was Mel LeMaine with the return, 38-yard line. Great field position for MacArthur. They already lead 7-0, and they have the look of a team that wants to dominate this thing. Same backs, same formation. They have a split end right, a split end left, a flanker right, tied into the right side.
Here he comes. Same play he scored on, but he's going to, no, he isn't. Going to run.
Nice move. Finally brought down, but it's 34-yard line. That's a gain of 5.
Greg Thorpe came out from his tackle position to make a good play. That could have been a big gainer, and it still was a gain of about
call it 4.
4.
MacArthur has yet to complete a pass. They haven't really needed to. Clock counting down toward 9 minutes left first half.
Gophers have completed 1, and they need to.
Again, wide receivers to both sides. Wide side right, strong side left. Now the wide receiver goes to the wide side. Back to throw. Man open.
Nobody
Gone.
on him. Nobody was covering him.
Real simple pattern. They send the wide receiver the split in deep up the field. He takes the corner with it. Then the motion man just runs about a 15-yard out.
Greg Glenn was chasing him, but he sure wasn't with him.
That's completion for 14 yards. Pass was caught by number 88, Hillman Johnson. 20-yard line, first down, 10. MacArthur threatening again. This game was scoreless after 1 quarter. MacArthur scored early in the second quarter, threatening once more. Finch, right side, not too much there. He still gets 3. Boy, a big old boy like that lowers his head. Whether there's a hole there or not, he's going to get something.
Tackle Jason Rook, number 89, made that tackle. He's playing at one end. Michael Emery's playing at the other.
They give him 2, call it second down and 8. Gopher defense has spent a lot of time on the field. Little confusion in the MacArthur offense. They finally get things figured out.
They're coming over here. No, they're
Option
not.
right. Richardson keeps. Breaks a tackle. He'll have a first down inside the 10.
Lousy tackling, a great run.
That's 9 yards.
Gophers are sagging out there, Russell. You can just see it in them.
Richardson with his one slick operator. 9-yard line, first down, goal to go. In fact, just a shade inside the 9.
Well, as they say, so far, Mac's come to play.
Solo coverage out here on the near side, but they're going to hand it to Finch coming right, and he is wrapped up.
Fumble the ball.
Yes,
Greg
he did.
Bland got the football. Now, there's another in the foot.
I did not see the ball come loose, but it is a fumble and a recovery. I'm told that the shoulder pad knocked it out. Finch's second fumble lost of the game, and both of them have been around or inside the 20-yard line.
But we haven't made but one first down. We're going to have to get out of the shadow of our goal post here. I don't know how we do it. I hate to do a lot of passing down here with the blocking we've been getting.
You know, great backs often leave the football on the ground. Jim Brown fumbled a bit. Tony Dorsett's little problems were well chronicled. Finch may be of that mold a little bit. Handoff Jones, who has one fumble to his credit this evening, and he gets only a couple.
Great backs, what they say, and I think it's true, great backs always trying to make that last yard or make that extra yard. They try to finish their run. We talked about that in years past. And if they're finishing that run, there's just some good chance that ball's going to be knocked loose.
Gain of almost 3, second down and a long 7 coming up. Gophers may be careful with this football down here. Duran left side, hit at the 10, and he'll get only a yard. It looks like there's a big hole there until you find somebody wrapped around your ankles, as Duran did that time.
Those linebackers are very quick, too. They're coming on the passing plays, and they recover. We've seen 2 or 3 times when our runner got to the hole, we thought there'd be a 5 or 6 yard gain, and look up and it's 1 yard. Big play here. They need to get out of this shadow here.
3rd and 5 coming up.
Still can't really put it up.
They are going to throw it. In trouble.
He's to run. He's got the first down.
He's got the first down and a lot more. Around the corner, up the sideline. One man to beat, goes out of bounds at 34.
That's all Mr. McCann. I'll tell you what that is. Good job. Got us out to about the 30, 31?
31-yard lines where they forced him out. That's a first down, and that will help the field position matter a great deal. Both bands will be on for halftime. I don't know if we'll see both bands. Will we see both bands, Don?
We will if we're at the game.
We will, but
Don decides who sees them at home.
You folks in Irving will not see the MacArthur band because the director is too lazy.
And it's not our fault. Folks in Irving, we want to see the MacArthur band, and we want you to see them. Fine-looking group over here.
I'll give you Don's home phone number if you wish. Hand off to Jason Jones. There are a lot of folks in white jerseys there.
On Don, once we give you his number, don't call before midnight. He doesn't get home to about 11:30.
That's no gain for Jones. That MacArthur defense is something. I gave
him 1. They say if you make anything, you give him 1, and he made about a foot.
2nd down and 9. It is becoming painfully obvious if the Gophers intend to score, they are probably going to do it through the air because the Cardinals are giving up nothing on the ground.
Well, I think, hold that thought.
McCann to throw. Screen back this side, no time to throw it. Big loss.
Screen was broken up. Well defense. McCann did a nice job there of not throwing the football.
But he takes about a 15-yard loss.
16 yards on the loss.
Roland Zamorano, that was an attempted screen pass, but there was nothing there.
There was more MacArthur people over here than there were Gophers. Well scouted screen pass. MacArthur played it excellent. And we're back in the shadow of our goalpost again.
So much for the field position thing.
3rd and 30 or whatever, 25.
Those 3rd and 25 plays, aren't a lot of those in the playbook.
No, that's our basic play. We're going to go deep and hope we have time to throw.
Bet Trubisky's double covered.
Don't have time.
But for the screen, he's in the end zone, throws it, caught by Duran. He's got some room. He won't have enough room. Flag down, that'll be a clip.
42 clips back here.
Fumble. It is MacArthur's football. Duran fumbled.
Coach Murray's going to be upset with that call. What he's going to say is the ground can't cause a fumble. Well, we had a lot of excitement on that play. McCann nearly called for a safety. Pass to Duran, a clip where Duran got the ball. Then he goes up to 28 and fumbles. And the Gophers are back in a hole again with 4 minutes and 16 seconds. Plenty of time.
Boy, when you got to get to the 41-yard line for a first down and your quarterback's running around in the end zone, you're in big trouble.
You got to have a major league play out there to get back.
It's at the 28, first down. This is the second Gopher turnover, the second one of this quarter. Both of them have been at about this spot.
Gophers need to play defense right now. Very important to stay in this game.
Man in motion. Blitz.
Oh! Now, how are they going to call that? Because the guard moved. He knows he's moved.
The defense can jump. They have a chance to get back. The guard, however, does
62.
not.
He moved, and he knows that he hates himself, and he just came off the field.
Lale Pascal, number 70, also. They were running a little tackle trap play that time. Pascal was coming over to trap someone over, probably the defensive tackle coming in there. As it is, they'll get a 5-yard walk-off. That is the 5th penalty for 45 yards against MacArthur in this first half. That and the 2 fumbles have kept this game maybe from getting out of hand already. You'd be hard-pressed to determine who the defending district champion was, at least so far tonight. Option right, pitch to Finch. He's got some room. Struggles to the 20.
He show you some running, leaning forward for another 5. They got it back plus a bunch.
He got 13 of the 15 needed. It'll be 2nd and 2. We are under 4 minutes left. If there's anything good about this, is maybe time as an ally of the Gophers, at least at this point.
But they're close enough. They got 2 timeouts left. And the way they run the ball, I'm very impressed with Mac. I don't know how they gave up 41 points last week.
Pretty amazing. Whatever Bertner did,
we're not doing over here.
No.
Or Mac was just maybe thinking about Grand Prairie and just fell asleep.
Well, this one counts, and they're serious. Looking into the end zone, big sack.
Michael Emery, Greg Thorpe. Big play, too. But the man was covered down the field well.
The much maligned Gopher secondary is playing very well. There haven't been any people wide open.
One time over here on the out from I think the 88, there was just a mix-up in the coverage. But the rest of the time we've been running with them.
3rd down and 7. Loss was for 5 yards. 1 wide receiver left, 1 right. They
the same play. He got the touchdown on.
He's going across the middle. Caught.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. The tight end, Drew Randall, 6'2", 215, and pretty nice hands to go with that package.
And there was Gophers there. He just made the good catch. The ball was high. And he was just above everybody on the catch. Nice job by the tight end.
13-0 with the point to come. Grand Prairie is in serious trouble. Bad snap, but they get the kick up and good. MacArthur 14, Grand Prairie nothing, and up to now, this has been a good old-fashioned whooping being put on the Gophers. Because realistically, MacArthur could have 2 more touchdowns. They turned the ball over at the 20 and at the 9.
Well, what the Gophers are doing on defense, it's easy to say it up here, but they're not controlling the line of scrimmage. They're not getting the good hits that they're famous for, coming in and punishing the runners. They're hanging on, grabbing, and the runners, that's a threat to the runners too. You had, 1st down and 15, you looked up and it was 2nd down and 2. You can't keep pressure on them when you let them have 13 yards on a running play like that.
The Gophers do have good size, but something I mentioned last year as well, it's not necessarily quick size. MacArthur's kids are pretty big, and they also move their feet very well, and that's caused the Gophers a lot of problems at the line of scrimmage tonight. Chris Henderson to kick off. Lee and Duran are back to receive, standing just inside the 5. Henderson has been kicking the ball low, trying to keep those deep men from getting it, at least so far tonight. He does so again.
Pick it up and run with it right there. Fletcher, the linebacker.
Fletcher gets outside. He's got some room. Face mask.
Face mask and no call.
No one saw it. The official on the near side was screened out, and the officials on the far side had their backs to the play, so there was no hope for them.
We got a little field position, and with MacArthur's time, but we just haven't seen him have the time back there to throw. He's got to have some time to throw. It's hard to be offensive. In other words, it's hard to throw the ball when you're being defensive, which means you're trying to keep them being annihilated by a tackler.
Well, McCann has looked like a rooster at a weasel convention. He's been dancing all night long. 38-yard line. Going up top again, and they got it. Stevenson stays in bounds, breaks a tackle. He will
believe
score.
They just got 7 from Stevenson, the sophomore, folks. Come on back, Gophers. That's the play we said that a couple of times the pass wasn't right, but that's one thing the Gophers can't do. They can score from anywhere on the field, and you're not going to catch Fred Stevenson, the sophomore, unless you're with him or ahead of him when he gets the ball. Did you see that high step to get his stride back?
Chris Henderson, the safety, had an angle. It didn't do him a whole lot of good. Well, Jason Jones tried to point.
That was 70,
big extra point.
72 yards?
62 yards.
62.
Featherston to hold. Snap is low. There are flags. That could be the best thing that happened to the Gophers.
That wasn't ready to be kicked.
It'll be against Grand Prairie, apparently.
Well, MacArthur's won this ball game the first half, been all over the field, but it's still 14-7. But Mac's going to have the ball with 2.5 minutes left. And that slow first quarter kind of opened up, didn't it, Russell?
Certainly did.
They're not doing the swinging gate this year where they put the center under and all that.
They're trying something cute over there. They just lined up on the other side.
No, they just line up so the kicker can see.
Apparently no call was made. The ball didn't move. This is a much better snap, and that's a much better kick.
That's as good a leg as the other guy. Well, we're back in the ball game. I don't think it's to any credit except McCant's arm and Fred Stevenson's running. But on the scoreboard, it's 14-7.
It's a ball game again, and quite frankly, if the Gophers had gone to halftime down 14-0, I wouldn't have liked the chances very much. Not the way they've been manhandled in the first half. Now they're one big play away from being tied or ahead in the football game.
And the Gophers basically are a big play ball club. We said that from the start. They score from anywhere. Mac just gets physical with you.
We will now see how the defense reacts to that big score. Back deep to receive the kickoff, 3 guys, and the man you do not want to have the football is Reggie Finch, number 8.
He's over here. You just saw a picture of him. He's over here on the left side, or our near side.
It would appear to me that they are probably going to run some kind of cutesy return like they do on the punt.
They've done it every time on the punt, and there's no reason to have 3 men back unless you're going to be cutesy. Of course, the way you stop that is to just squib it down there, and you mess up the timing. Boy, we're good up here about telling them what to do.
Yeah, aren't we? That's because we're too old to have to go down there and play anymore.
Only reason I'm not down there is that UIL rules prohibit me. I didn't make my grades last semester.
I'm afraid my eligibility ran out. I'm not big enough to be
we got a whistle here.
Anyway.
What was the deal here? Don't worry, folks. We'll be back after this. Oh, no, we want to kick it from up there. We like the 45-yard line.
They were set up at the 45, and nobody noticed until one official finally caught wind of what was going on. Nice try, Gophers. Hey.
No problem with that deal.
Go for that edge, huh?
We'll kick from the 50. No problem. Greg Thorpe is our kickoff man, and he is not going to try to get it high in the air and give them time to do something. I hope. Well,
short kick coming to Finch.
That's where we don't want it.
10-yard
line up and come at him.
There's the wedge, and Finch is out to the 30-yard line. Pretty good coverage that time by the Gophers with 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the half. MacArthur on top, 14-7.
Greg Thorpe, our kicker, made the tackle. Well, folks, our offense has been McCann. He has 5 incompletes and 3 receptions for 24, 16, and 62, and at the end of the 16, we fumbled.
30-yard line, 1st and 10. MacArthur has scored the last 2 times they've had the football. Excuse me, 2 of the last 3 times they fumbled in the middle.
He got 5 yards, and we had the hole pretty well stopped, Russell. They'll take their time. They believe in their offense, and they believe in their rushing. They'll have to probably put the ball up to score from 2 minutes.
They're not really noted as a big play team.
Until probably a minute from now.
I've been impressed with Richardson's arm, however. He does have a nice arm, especially for a quarterback on this type of ball club. Long count. Sprint draw Finch. Look out. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2, finally dropped short of the first down.
He lost his first down there by trying to make a move, but the coaches don't mind. He'll make big plays that same way.
He is an exciting runner. Big, strong legs.
That's one of those deals where you tell your defensive players never stop because he can come right back at you. Get in the flow.
A minute 20, 3rd and 1. Clock is counting down. Arterberry is wide left, and we have movement.
Well, that'll stop the clock, but it also makes it 3rd and about 7. Those linemen aren't getting set, Russell.
Illegal procedure. That is penalty number 6 in the first half of MacArthur. That and the 2 fumbles, the only things they have really done wrong. The coverage on the touchdown pass wasn't that bad.
That was just a good throw and a good catch by a tall receiver. How about an interception here? Well, I don't think they'll put it up, Russell, but how about an interception? That would put us back in the game, wouldn't it?
3rd and 6. I would imagine power sweep is a good call.
Yeah, with number 8, who's in that deep back position right now.
They fake the sprint draw, and look out, Thorpe's got him.
Thorpe read it. That's third time, and it didn't work that time. And now we need to look at the clock here. Gophers need to call timeout. Timeout, Gophers. Timeout.
43 seconds when they finally get it.
Every coach was signaling, and not a single Gopher looked at them. We lost 15 seconds because nobody was paying attention.
I tell you what, folks, Craig Thorpe is playing a real good football game.
From that tackle position, Greg's got good speed. He's a 5'11", 216-pound senior.
He has maybe been the defensive bright spot. Haven't mentioned Brooks very often today. Emery's been on a couple of plays, but not too many.
Sean Laughlin, who's been out the first 3 games with a cut knee, number 86, is back in the lineup tonight. A star that didn't call it out earlier. He's playing the tackle position over on Emery's side.
Duran and Dubisky are going back to receive the kick.
Now, Gophers, they say we have 2 timeouts. I thought we took one earlier. Maybe we didn't. Maybe it was them, David. Two timeouts left, and McCants can put a lot of excitement in the game.
You know, I don't know about the cheerleader count for
they got plenty of band players, don't they?
The band is hanging right in there.
That's the band we're not going to see.
There they are.
We are totally out of those decision-making situations, folks. Don't be mad at us.
It is 4th down, 14. On the kick is John Bryant. Very high snap.
Their line is moving
down.
again, I think.
The clock ticked off 2 seconds.
I don't know how they can do that.
2 seconds back.
So should put it back on.
And if the Grand Prairie coaches are on top of things, they will.
I don't think the coaches know the clock ticked off.
This is the kind of game where 2 seconds makes a big difference.
Yeah, Coach Murray saying 2 seconds. You can't have 2 seconds. The line judge is coming over. It was ball one snapped. You can't have 2 seconds off that clock.
Now the line judge is going to go talk to the referee.
He's telling him about the clock, but the referee doesn't seem to be too concerned. That was a nice discussion. So much for that discussion, Russell.
I think they're saying we can't do nothing about it, Coach. They jumped again, 5 more. Gophers are...
I tell you, the Cardinals have an edgy offensive line. What's that, about 5 times those linemen have jumped around? They're going to lead the district in penalties in this game. What are they up to now, Russell? Oh, inadvertent flag. Look at this call. And the coaches are hot over here.
Brown's kind of got him antsy. He's been stepping in. Let's see if the Gophers do, in fact, try to block the kick. They got 9 men at the line. Good snap. They're after it. They don't get it. What a kick. Fair catch by Duran back at the 40-yard line.
But that striking distance, and Dubisky was, or was it Lee? Lee Robinson was nearly there. 35 seconds to 1 timeout. They changed that. I thought it was wrong, but scoreboard's now to 1 timeout. All right, defense. Defense, Gophers getting a good hand.
They've had a rough first half.
They've been on the field a lot, too.
35 seconds with a quarterback of McCants' ability. That's a long time. He's got Lee with great speed wide right to Dubisky, maybe even better speed wide left.
They got 2 on Dubisky.
2 safeties deep. The quick slant, overthrown. If the defender had been looking for it, it was right to him. That was Marty Molina, but he was watching the receiver, not the football.
Now, that was probably the play. There was single coverage on Cedric Lee over here, double coverage on Dubisky, but Cedric ran in on the slant towards the free safety, and, of course, the throw wasn't where it should be.
The way the defense has set the deep corner route, it'll be the one that they'll have to run if they're going to get it complete. They're covering them deep inside.
And they're going to have to guess where the single coverage is. It's going to, well,
Stevenson,
they're loading up.
Stevenson on the up might be the play. Quick post out here. It is Jones, not much, a couple. Tried to get him on the quick pop pass coming outside.
Tried to get him around the corner.
But chasing him down, 28, Jason Lowe, it's 28, Jason Lowe is 26, Vince Kimbrough, number 28, and also Ned Delane, whose name is been mentioned a few times this evening.
McCann did something you should have never done there. He faked to Jones and then came to him. If you're going to fake to that man, run that little swing out, you got to turn up and go deep because they're all going to go to him.
23 seconds left, 3rd down and 6.
No timeouts.
If they get a first down, the clock will stop to move the chains. But other than that, they'll have to throw an incomplete pass or get out of bounds to stop the clock. (14-7) MacArthur. Cardinals have played very, very well. Gophers have the one big touchdown pass that's kept them in the game. Bisky, they're going deep. That is that corner route I spoke of, but the pass was overthrown.
McCann did not have time to set up.
And it looked like Lee may have chopped that pattern off a little short instead of going ahead and taking it toward
Getting
the corner.
to the corner, right.
4th down, McCann will go back and punt.
And Mac's going to get the ball. There'll be time left on it. I don't know what, maybe one play.
18 seconds left. 4th down and 7. MacArthur coach is telling him not to let him fake it. That was probably a wise move. The punt goes over the head of the only deep man back and rolls out of bounds at the 22.
10 seconds left.
With 10 seconds, I doubt MacArthur will try to do too much this deep in their own territory, but we'll see.
Well, the other side of that, you can go deep because if they intercept it, there's not going to be timeouts or time to come back the other way. Makes sense to try nothing. It also makes sense to sail it deep. I'm kind of a sail it deep man myself.
That's because you had that deep speed.
That's right. I always went deep, but I was always about 30 minutes after the team had left the field.
One of those guys, and they ran the 40 that times you with the calendar.
Right.
10 seconds. Wide receivers to both sides. Richardson goes straight ahead. He's got about 7. That will end the first half. As we go to halftime, our score, MacArthur 14, Grand Prairie 7. Stay tuned to the halftime show coming up in just a moment.
Be it ever so dirt, like there's no thing like soil.
Rolf, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, Eddie. Well, the National Wildlife Federation asked me to write a song in praise of soil. But who cares?
Oh, you must care about soil.
Well, sometimes my towels get dirty.
No, we're talking about soil, Rolf. The stuff in which farmers grow the food you see in the grocery store.
What? Even dog biscuits?
Oh, everything depends on soil. Without soil, there would be no trees, no plants, no places for wildlife.
Well, I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah, a lot of us don't. This country is losing soil faster than Mother Nature can replace it. Over 6 billion tons a year.
Whoa. But what can I, a mere doll, do?
You can write to the National Wildlife Federation.
Okay, Eddie, I'll do it.
So, write to Eddie and Rolf, National Wildlife Federation, Washington, D.C., 20036.
Yeah, you do that.
Gophers return to the field for the second half. They trail 14-7. Welcome back, everybody. Russ Siebert here along with Mike Lewis. First half stats from the MacArthur side of things indicate the kind of offensive first half they had. 123 yards on the ground. Reggie Finch, 8 carries for 50 yards. Quarterback Richardson, 10 carries for 45. Fullback Canals, 4 carries for 24. Then 1 carry by the backup tailback. That was Arterberry. He got 4 yards. So 123 yards rushing. Passing for Toby Richardson, he was 2 of 4, 39 yards and a touchdown. Total offense, 162 yards. The negative stats, 7 penalties for 55 yards from MacArthur. They fumbled twice, lost them both.
You got the Grand Prairie. If you want to know their story, you can listen and see it real easy. McCann had 6 rushes for a -3 yards. Jones had 4 rushes for 7. Duron 3 rushes for 5. Lee 1 rush for 1 yard. Total yards on the rushing for the Gophers, 10 yards. 4 out of 10 completions, 97 yards, but 62 of those were in one play. They had 3 penalties for 20 yards total and 2 fumbles and only had 3 first downs. No offense, Russell.
None whatsoever. The big play, however, has gotten them back in the ball game. Delay of game against the Gophers, and the reason for this is they took so long to come out of the locker room. The halftime show did run nearly forever, but MacArthur had been out quite a while. So there'll be a walk-off for delay of game against the Gophers.
Well, that's a good way to start the half.
Yeah.
Coach Murray is mad, and the game hadn't even started.
Finch, Arterberry, and LeMaine back to return the kickoff for MacArthur. They lead it 14-7. They dominated the first half, but lead by only a touchdown. Jones to kick from the 30. Not a bad kick. LeMaine takes it on the run at the 19. He's got a wedge in front, and he gets out across the 30, almost to the 40.
Now, that's good, excellent field position for Mac, and I wonder what changes the Gopher defense make, because they've got to stiffen up.
That's only an 18-yard return, but they're at the 38-yard line because he picked it off at the 20 because of the penalty.
Jason Jones is coming off the field limping. That's not a real good sign.
They do have a good backup tailback, Lee, but of course that would take him away from the flanker spot, which he plays quite a bit. Same offense comes out from MacArthur in the second half. They got wide receivers to both sides, 38-yard line handoff, Finch right up the middle, big hole.
They started off like they left off last half, gain of about 6 or 7 yards, make it 6. Coming right up the middle. I'm not going to guess the MacArthur coach. That's what she's getting paid to do. But the way they've controlled us from tackle to tackle, I don't know why they just don't keep it on the ground and take it to us and make us stop them from tackle to tackle.
Makes sense. And we have a timeout called by the Gophers already. We are 31 seconds into the second half and already a timeout. Kelvin Brooks is limping. That may have been what they talked about at halftime. They come out and see exactly the same thing right off the bat. Coach Murray wants to talk things over.
Well, you just really can't have 30 minutes at halftime and then come out and have 31 seconds into the third quarter and call timeout.
It actually took about 35 minutes at halftime. That's how they ended up with the penalty to start the thing on the kickoff. We have just started the third quarter. The Gophers have used a timeout. They are on defense. MacArthur facing a second down and about 4 as Finch got 6 yards on first down. MacArthur completely controlled the first half. That Gopher defense spent a lot of time on the field. And of course, as we mentioned, things do not get easier for Grand Prairie after tonight. They get to go to Duncanville, which might not be much fun. Ball just inside the 45-yard line. Option right. Finch has it at the corner. Look out. He's got the first down. Runs forward to the 48.
There was nobody out there playing the pitch, man. Nobody.
7 yards. Ball into Gopher territory. First down.
Sean Laughlin is in there at tackle. Like I said earlier, the first quarter, he had a real severe cut and wasn't able to play the first 3 games. He came all the way across and made that tackle, but they've got to tighten up, Russell.
Brooks is out of the game. Richardson rolls left, looking downfield to throw, throws the out complete. Fumble. MacArthur still has it. No. They say incomplete.
No catch.
That is tough.
I believe that was a fumble, Russell. I believe you called it absolutely right. The boy had the ball in the chest. Number 8 wanted to fight somebody. Can you believe that? He's going, come on, ref, get control of the game.
Looks like he wants to fight everybody.
Everybody in blue. I can't believe the ref just kept walking around that mess.
I tell you what, if this was a pro game, you'd have them screaming replay, replay, because that looked like a fumble from here. Second down 10 coming up.
Well, both teams thought it was because both of them were trying to fall on the ball.
I think the intended receiver, Arterberry, was kind of politicking to call that an incomplete pass.
Don't blame him for that.
Not hardly. Man in motion to the near side. Long count. Sprint draw. Fake the sprint draw. Looking for some place to go. Emery's got him. That's going to be a holding call.
Holding call on number 70 on the offense. On Emery. No, on Thorpe, excuse me. Greg Thorpe they got a holding call against number 70.
And Mrs. Thorpe, I can tell you honestly, he is saying Craig. Honest he is. This is going to be an interesting discussion. The loss is of about 2 yards. If they take the penalty, it'll still be second down, but it'll be 20 yards to go. If they elect not to take it, it'll be third down and 12.
I think they're going to push him back with that offense, that ground game of theirs. Third and 10's not, I don't know, not real safe, but of course, we're going to be second and, well,
second and 20 coming up.
No, we're not.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I guess so.
That is penalty number 8 for 65 yards against MacArthur. They have been their own worst enemy. That stiff breeze, by the way, continues. It's blowing more or less from behind us across the field. Arterberry in motion. Richardson, sprint draw. Finch gets about 3 and nothing else.
A little more aggression on that Gopher line. A little more hitting for a change. The Gophers look like they might be awake. Finch is up wanting to talk again. Michael Emery's patting him on the head, but I'll assure you that Emery's not telling him what a great back he is.
Finch has started the second half very fast with runs of 6 and 7. That time he gets only 3. Third down in a bunch. Call it 17 from the 44-yard line. MacArthur started this drive with excellent field position at their own 38 after a delay of game penalty before the second half kickoff forced the Gophers to kick from their own 30. Third and a bunch. Wide receivers to both sides. Single coverage on the man on the near side. Looks like they're double in the far side receiver. Now Arterberry goes out. First time in the game, 3 receivers in the pattern. Rush is on. Going deep. Got a man out. There's Arterberry. Drops it. Intercepted.
But that could have been caught by Arterberry. That would have been a big gainer, but I don't know if that interception's as good as a punt. We're back on the 13, 14-yard line.
Brian Forsythe was beaten badly, but got the rebound.
And maybe we should have let him punt. Of course, it's hard to think that quick in fairness to Brian. Brian did what he's supposed to do, is get the ball in his hands and get to the ground. No fault there.
14-yard line, turnover number 3. McCant rolling right. He's got a man open, wide open, deep. Can he get it? Yes, caught.
We're going to have an unusual call where that flag's thrown down there. The flag's on about the 20-yard line.
Side judge threw it. That could be a number of things.
Boy, that guy can watch for many things.
It must be against MacArthur because McCant's happy.
No, we'll take the pass. I tell you, if he'd have let him a little more, it was a touchdown.
The tight end was something we talked about at halftime, you and I. He was open in the first half, but he was certainly there for that one.
Well, they're watching the wideouts. There's no doubt about that.
That is 28 yards, 29 yards, and a first down at the 43. Marshall was all by himself and made a nice adjustment to the ball, which was behind him. First and 10. MacArthur looks a little confused defensively. Now they get it set up. McCant tries to get it to Lee. He does. He's got a little bit of a seam. Fumble. Gophers got it back. Brandon Boyce, I believe, fell on the football. Lee was really wrapped hard by one of those fine linebackers, and
ball went fumble back and lost his gain there, about 5 yards.
I tell you what, those linebackers are like clones. They're all about the same size. They all arrive in a big hurry, and none of them are in a very good mood when they get there.
They hit. As they say, you got to play this game angry, and their linebackers do.
Second down, just over 10. That loss is about a half yard. Blitz is coming. The up pass. Dubisky's out there.
Hey.
Overthrown. Little jockeying for position there. The fans on the near side want to call. That would have been kind of tough to call him, the defender.
19 was running him to the sidelines, but it was a little close to say it was a real good defense. Well, it's a good defensive play because it wasn't called, so give 19 credit.
Rusty Benton on the coverage, and he was pretty close to Dubisky that time. They backed off the wide receivers a little bit now. It is third down and 10.
Double coverage on Dubisky.
Marshall, the tight end, is not in the game. Featherston is lined up at tight end. Blitz is on. Deep corner, incomplete.
But nobody ran the corner pattern.
McCant is down. He was hit very hard after he let it go, and he is not getting up.
Got the wind knocked out of him. We hope that's all it is.
Couple of linebackers, Ned Delane, we mentioned him a few times, and also Jason Lowe, both arrived at about the same time.
They red dog their linebackers. Now, if you got time to throw, and McCant's having trouble doing that, if they send those linebackers, something's got to be open over the middle.
But McCant has only thrown the ball over the middle that I can recall the one time, and that was the completion we had just a moment ago.
Remember, McCant's been punting tonight, and they've come on the field, which, of course, he's not going to get up and be able to punt, but they also, when they come on the field, have to take that player off.
Gopher fans holding their breath, because if there's one player this team can ill afford to lose, it would be Keaton McCant. Not to belittle the talents of Rolando Cedillo, the backup quarterback, but McCant is quite frankly one of the best in the state.
he got the wind knocked out of him. Basically what happens that's why you got to protect the quarterback. When he makes his throw, his whole chest and rib cage is not protected. Now it could be worse than that because you could have a cracked rib or something like that.
And I know from experience that cracked ribs are no fun.
I can tell you that he's coming back.
Now he'll have to come out of the game or it'll cost him a timeout. So they really will have to have someone else punt.
Well, no.
Ethan, he's lost his mouthpiece. He was going to leave it there now. I'm not sure Keithan's elevator's going all the way to the top
I believe he's still a little dazed.
Cedillo is back.
We only have 11 on the field, but this
flag is down, and
that is not a kick. Oh my Lord!
They get a decent hop. That ball shouldn't be live. I believe a Gopher touched it first.
There's a kick of 4 yards, folks. That has to hurt us. That's what McCants.
They are hoping that penalty's against MacArthur.
Don't think it will be. No, it isn't.
Bet they decline that.
Gophers just weren't set up for that punt.
So the injury to McCant that keeps him from punting the football has become a key, a 4-yard punt.
Could have cost them that, that's about 30-yard swing minimum right there.
That's as good as a turnover.
You bet.
47-yard line, superb field position for MacArthur this time. .8:25 left, third quarter. Cardinals on top, 14-7. With good field position, a chance to try to extend the lead. They're not very far from field goal range now. Long count. Same pattern as a while ago. He's open again. 7-yard gain. Dubisky makes the tackle. Actually, a little bit different pattern. Last time they ran the wide receiver deep and then ran the motion man under him. That time the motion man went deep and the wide receiver curled under him. That's a 7-yard gain. Pass was complete to Trey Shoemake, number 81. 2nd and 3 coming up. 2 tight ends this time. Hand off to the fullback. He'll have the first down. Temper's starting to flare a little bit now.
Well, they have been since about the middle of the second quarter, but it's starting to be obvious. Frustration.
4-yard gain for the fullback, Brad Knaus. Ball to the 36-yard line. This is a big, big defensive series for Grand Prairie. If they give up a touchdown here, it could be tough. Especially since McCant's physical condition may be questionable at this point. Finch got a good lead block. He's got a lot of room. He has another first down, I believe, at the 25.
Got the end kicked out, and they just went inside the end and went up the field for 10 yards.
Number 70, Pale Pascal, the left tackle, pulled around on that play. That's a play the Cowboys run a lot out of the I formation, pulling the offside tackle. Reggie Finch is limping. He looks like he's got a leg cramp.
You bet, that's what that is.
A little bit late in the season for that. Figure by this time the weather's cooled off and should be in pretty good shape, but it does appear to have a cramp in his calf. He has left the game, and that will put number 20, Darren Arterberry, at tailback. Arterberry takes it, pitch right. He gets about 4. Finch is up to 77 yards for the evening on only 12 carries. Eddie Palmer, 83, checks in with the play.
Big second down. 2nd and 6.
One tight end. Strength of the formation is to the right. Motion to the near side. Roll near side. Look out. Gets away in the backfield, going in the corner of the end zone. Man, wide open. Can he get it? Yes. Touchdown.
Nobody was covering him. Not even close. Good play.
Touchdown, Trey Shoemake, number 81. We're going to go down to the field level now, and we have a report on Keith McCant's injury.
We've gotten the word on Keith McCant from the sideline. He just simply got the wind knocked out of him on that last pass he threw, and he'll be back as soon as the Gophers get the ball again.
Thank you, Steve, and they're going to need him because they're going to be down by 2 touchdowns. That ball sneaks inside the left upright. It's good, and it is 21-7.
The Macs showing a little passing. They are rushing offense, but they've scored 2 by the air, and that time the big problem the receiver had was just staying in bounds because nobody was within 15 yards of him.
And a real nice job by Toby Richardson to avoid the blitz. I believe that might have been Jerry Lee Brown possibly, or maybe Bland. I couldn't quite tell.
That's how close it is. They could have been sacked for a 10-yard loss. Instead, they scored a touchdown. Now, some of you people right now are saying he didn't have both feet in bounds. Don't have to. This is high school football.
One's enough. And he got pretty close to getting them both in anyway. Nice tippy-toe job by Shoemaker in the back of the end zone. And he could have pitched a tent back there because he was awful lonesome. Well, you know, I would figure, I believe it was Bland who was through. He is a safety man. If he was the guy who came on the blitz, that would kind of explain why the man was all by himself.
He's the strong safety, though, and Dubisky is playing the free safety. So the strong safety, that's Michael Downs, and they come up a lot of times. Michael Downs for the Cowboys, I remember them. They lost one game and everybody's down on them.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
They only scored 35 points.
They're ready to trade them all. Ready to trade them in for Tampa Bay now. That ball hops out of bounds and they'll kick it again. And we got occasional
everybody on the field kind of choosing up sides.
Beginning to look a little bit like main event wrestling tonight. 21-7 MacArthur. And you talk a lot about the potent MacArthur ground game, but 2 of the 3 touchdowns have been via the air route tonight.
Nice passes, too. One to the tight end over the middle, good high spiral. Tight end went up and got it, and then that was just a down and in the corner pass, and the receiver got his 1 foot in bounds, and that's all you have to.
I tell you what, there is no shortage of nice quarterbacks in this district now. There's David Need at Duncanville, and Keith McCant here at Grand Prairie, and the Richardson kid here, Toby, is showing real well for himself this evening from MacArthur. Duran and Lee are back to receive. Dubisky is not returning kickoffs now. He did the first time, but has not been back since. They kick away this time. Duran, and we have a flag down. I think maybe MacArthur was offsides. Duran's got a seam.
Well, I think they'll take the ball there, I believe.
And another flag comes down late. That will be a post-possession foul.
One's going to be a personal foul. That's the only thing to be thrown that late. Offsides against them, clipping against us, excuse me.
Offset, do it again.
We're going to start all over with this mess.
So that late clip cost Grand Prairie some good field position.
You bet. They'd be happy to have the ball on the 30.
5 minutes, 40 seconds left, third quarter. Grand Prairie behind 21-7 in their district opener. MacArthur has looked good. Of course, Grand Prairie, the returning district champion.
MacArthur actually finished second and went further than the Gophers last year.
MacArthur got very hot in the playoffs, upset Trinity in the first round, which made a lot of people in this district happy. Old Coach Riddell over Trinity is a mighty good coach, but he's not a very popular fella.
He doesn't work on his Dale Carnegie real hard. I need to give him some etiquette lessons.
I think so. And you're certainly qualified.
I'm someone to do that.
I understand Amy Vanderbilt calls you.
Yeah, she wants to check with me, especially on etiquette, what to eat, which fork to use. Of course, I use the little fork for my soup.
Kickoff is coming to Duran at 20. 30, look out. 40, about the same place they were before, so not much difference. Gophers have the football, but they trail by 2 touchdowns. They're going to need to get something going here pretty quick.
After this game, folks, if you want a good steak or a salad bar, let me tell you to go on down to Jim's Pizza. No, where would I go for a steak or a salad bar?
If you wanted a steak, you go to K-Bob's.
K-Bob's for steak, salad bar, fajitas, whatever. If you just want to eat a good old pizza, where would you go there, Russ?
Well, you might go to Jim's Pizzeria, and they got 2 locations, and we'll talk about all those places here in just a moment. McCant comes back offensively. Stevenson in motion to the near side. He's got single coverage. They're going his way. Same jump pass.
Whoa, skew. Whoa! Whoa! Excuse me, folks.
That's one of the bad non-calls I have ever seen. I generally don't get down on officials too bad, but that was awful.
What we saw, I don't know if y'all saw it, but Fred Stevenson went 10 yards down the field, and the defensive man just knocked him on his back with a ball in the air. I can't say much about that.
That's one of those things, I guess. Stevenson got busted right in the chops with the ball in the air. Lee this time comes this way. Let's see if they run the same pass.
Linebackers on him.
Look out. 26-yard line. There are 8 guys in the backfield. McCant never had a chance. 3rd down and a bunch coming up. Jason Jones checks out. Lee comes back in. Marshall also checks out.
Featherston coming in.
3rd down.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Jeff Powell came in, 85.
3rd down, 23. That was a loss of 13. Blitz is on again. McCant turns it loose. Got a man out there. It is intercepted at the 40-yard line.
That's as good as a punt, though.
And a flag, a very needless flag. You're going to get to tack 15 onto that. And McCant is down again.
They're beating him up back there because he's what he's trying to do, they're all over him, and he's still trying to set up and make the throw. And I admire him for that, but he's getting beat up. We're not giving him any help in that backfield. I'm sorry, folks. We're just not giving him the help he needs to make that throw.
Mel LeMaine with the interception. Pass was intended for Jeff Powell. He made the tackle, and he is going to be the man guilty, I think, of the personal foul. Powell ripped the ball out of LeMaine's hands after they were on the ground, which precipitated a shoving match, and the official turned around just in time to see Jeff's shove, which is usually good enough to get you 15, and there it goes. Of course, that call wouldn't be quite as unpopular if the pass interference had been called a moment ago.
And McCant is still down back here. John Jarvis, our center, is with him. He can't take this kind of beating, Russell.
He has been abused regularly all evening long, usually by the linebackers for MacArthur, who have seldom been blocked. There's nothing too cute about it. The defensive linemen for MacArthur get in an offensive lineman's face, and the linebackers shoot the gaps. And they've been there in a hurry. Keithan walking off under his own power.
But he can't take many more shots like that.
He's wondering where the birds are, because he can sure hear them chirping.
I admire him for setting up and trying to turn the ball loose, but
with the 15-yard walk-off, MacArthur has it at the Grand Prairie 44. If they score here, it's lights out time. Finch is still out. Arterberry is the tailback. Richardson to throw. He's
wide open. He's going to run.
Duck it under, run. Nice move. First down. Very close to a first down. Toby Richardson is putting on a clinic.
9 yards, and I think he was going to run all the way once he saw there was no end out there, no defensive end for pressure.
He now has 54 yards rushing and 11 carries. There's Cedillo warming up, and if we do not see McCant again tonight, the Gophers' apparently slim chances would be reduced that much further. 2 tight end set, power football. Arterberry has a first down. Somebody had him by the jersey, but it did not prevent him from getting that first down.
Kelvin Brooks was hanging on and then finally went on down on top of him. But he got the first down, like you said, and guess who's coming back in the game, Russell?
Reggie Finch. Bad news for Gopher fans. By the way, we did not mention K-Bob's is located at 303 and Carrier Parkway. They're open till 11 on Fridays after the games. Mr. Jim's has 2 locations, and we'll give you those immediately after this play. First down, 10. Long count this time for Richardson. Counter play, Finch coming right, big hole, touchdown. 30 32 yards. Finch is over 100.
Came in for one play, but 32 yards and a touchdown. That's doing your job.
This game may officially be out of hand, 27-7, and when you figure that MacArthur could have very easily had 2 more touchdowns in the first half, you get just exactly the view of what kind of dominance this has been by MacArthur tonight. They have been great. Henderson for the extra point. Snap is down, kick is partially blocked.
Bounces off the post and is good. Not pretty, but good.
28-7. Okay, got to do some house cleaning here with 3:20 left. Mr. Jim's Pizzeria, they have 2 locations. You can call them at 642-0161 or go by their original location at 329 Marshall Plaza in Grand Prairie. It's the corner of Marshall and Southwest 3rd. Or you can go to their new location at 1205 West North Carrier Parkway, Suite 200A. That's in the Oak Ridge Business Center. Those nice folks provided food for the crew this evening. I got here in time for the pizza. Of course, it was cold. Not Mr. Jim's fault.
That wasn't Jim's fault.
It's not Jim's fault. In fact, I personally hold Don Roper responsible.
Same guy didn't show the Mac van.
It is 28-7. There is still 3:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. There's Wendell Garrett sporting the Boz look. Wendell's been out with a little arthroscopic knee surgery, has not played this evening, and I'm certain that he wishes he could be playing because things might be a little different with him.
They're suiting him out and practicing, but he doesn't have full use of that knee, and he is sorely missed because he was probably the mainstay of the defense last year.
Official wants to talk to Coach Murray, and
it's not one of those pleasant conversations.
Doesn't look like it. Henderson to kick.
Coach Murray's really upset, but I don't blame him.
Duran and Lee back to receive. Low line drive. Goes right by, that's Stevenson back there, rolls into the end zone.
And there's that call I was talking about.
Looked like he was trying to get the football.
Yeah, I was going to say, but you saw that ref. There was 2 Gophers running back there, but you saw that ref start to wave that hand, blow that whistle.
Let's see, Keithan McCann has the helmet back on.
He's
this
coming
guy,
on the field.
He gets a big grade A for guts anyway.
Fine young man. He's got to have time. I've said the whole game. The linebackers are coming nearly every time. They have the whole game. 7 or 8 men are playing on the defensive line. And there's not enough people to block.
Even though he is not having a great night throwing the football, you got to figure his stock with the college scouts is going up tonight just because of the toughness of this. Gain of 2, and another fight breaks out. The back judge throws the flag from about 6 miles away. That was
McCants over there in the middle of it.
Jeff Marshall involved with that man, Ned Delane. Mr. Delane has been in the middle of a lot of stuff tonight, mostly tackles.
Coach Murray is on the field. Gonna do it. Here's one of those deals. Do it on both of them. Kiss your sister time. Neither side likes that. Personal foul, both sides. That means the ref don't know what to do.
The 2 main linebackers for MacArthur, in case you're wondering, Lowe is 6'2", 215. Delane is 6 foot 200. That's lineman size in high school, folks. And those guys get there in a big, big hurry. 2nd down, about 8. Flags
Defensive
down.
man moved, but so did Saul Martinez, number 60.
We have had a lot of laundry on the field tonight.
Saul Martinez is number 60, and when that defensive man moved, it's hard not to move.
Clock is stopped with 3:01 left, 3rd quarter. MacArthur in control. They led 14-7 at the half. They've scored 2 touchdowns in this quarter to go up 28-7. And as we mentioned earlier, they could very easily have had a couple more. They have been in control almost from the outset. Counterplay, Jones. He is hit very hard, spins away from one, but then the reserves arrive, and he gets only to the 20.
Good effort, but there's just not a hole there. I'll tell you one thing. Mac is a quick ball club. I mean, you just see the hole, and then there's nothing.
How in the world did Berkner score 41 points on these guys?
Mack must have left. MacArthur must have left the game, and Buckner kept scoring.
2:20 left. Berkner is considered a good team, but far from a great team. Maybe they were looking ahead to this one. Wide open in the middle's Marshall. He can't hang on. At the very last minute, LeMaine showed up, and Marshall was trying to watch him and watch the football. Consequently, he did not get the football. There is apparently a penalty flag down. It's
Offside zone Mack, so we get another shot at this. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
Cedillo checked in. Is it to play quarterback or to punt? Apparently he will check back out. He was checking in to punt.
You sure? Well, I guess. But
he's leaving again. McCann is looking like he's going to come back. I think I'd keep McCann on to punt.
Yeah, well, I just said, are you sure he's coming in to punt?
And we will have another timeout taken by Grand Prairie.
Grand Prairie has 48 players running on off the field. This is
the penalty, really, even though it was against MacArthur, has virtually cost Grand Prairie a timeout. They were so confused with the punt team running on and then back off again that they couldn't get organized and had to call a timeout. That is their second. They have only one remaining. That is not a good stat when you're down by 21 points late in the 3rd quarter. MacArthur fans are all hanging around.
Oh, they're not going to go anywhere. A lot of them in red over there. This is the Gopher side. That's Mack's side right there. A lot of red shirts. I like to see that. Come support the team. You Mack people that watch this on TV, you got a good ball club, get you a red shirt and go watch them play. These are high school kids. A lot of effort, a lot of work goes to this on both sides. Nobody wants to lose.
MacArthur has certainly put on quite a show for their fans this evening. They've made the trip down from Irving quite worthwhile.
A lot of them are spending the night. It's quite a long drive. It's about from here, maybe a mile to the city limits.
Yeah, I tell you though, MacArthur's on the north side though, and I come sort of from that direction on my way here, and on Friday afternoon, Bubba, you can't hardly get here from there. 3rd down and 5 coming up. This is a big play for Grand Prairie. They need to do something on this drive. We got 2 men in motion, and that's going to push it back 5
yards. We took time out to get this play down and then ran it wrong. As they say, Russell, when the wheels come off, they all come off.
It is not looking too sharp right now.
And the only people that aren't confused out there is Mack.
They do appear to have had a plan coming in. And have had a pretty good clue of how to make it work. 3rd and 10. Featherston is wide left. Marshall is tight right now. Stevenson comes in motion right. There's the inside reverse. McCann is stuffed in the backfield. Who's at the bottom of that? That is number 55 and 51. Craig Flashman and Sergio Reyes.
There's just no blocking on the offensive line. I'm sorry, I'm an offensive lineman. I've been in games where we didn't block, so I'm not trying to offend anybody, but we're just not doing our job.
MacArthur defense gets a standing ovation, and I tell you what, I'm tempted to stand up myself.
Boy.
They are tough. McCann will stay in.
I will not stand up, by the way, but
good snap. End over end and fairly short. Takes a good hop, and that'll be out at the 46-yard line. The ball still on Grand Prairie side of the field. They already trail by 21.
They haven't had the ball, and MacArthur hadn't had the ball on their side of the field. They've always had the ball this half inside the 50-yard line.
Their worst field position was at the 38, their own 38, on the opening kickoff of the second half.
But they haven't had that this half.
1:32 left, 3rd quarter. Cardinals have dominated. They led only 14-7 at the half because they left the ball on the ground a couple of times. But they have flat chewed things up. Illegal procedure. Fullback moved to count too soon. This is not a very cleanly played football game.
Well, it's a lot of the penalties aren't necessarily personal fouls. Max got stuck with a lot of 5-yarders.
Not dirty, just sloppy.
Yeah.
That is penalty number 9 against MacArthur. And that is the 5th one of the 5-yard variety. 1st and 15. Finch apparently is feeling much better after his touchdown. He's back in the game at tailback. And he has the football in a gaping hole. Look out. Cuts inside of Dubisky. He is still on his feet. Look at that kid run. 25-yard line.
Now, there was about a 26-yard run because they were on their 49 after the penalty.
And he got the last 10 carrying people. I think he's a keeper.
Yeah, I think they'll keep him around.
And he's got another year left, folks. 25-yard line, 1st and 10. MacArthur going for the big knockout blow. Finch dragged down from behind. That is Brooks. Haven't heard much from Kelvin Brooks tonight, though. I get the impression that Kelvin is a young man playing nose guard who would be much better off at linebacker, but they don't really have much of a choice.
Yep. Some injuries have made them move that defense around.
Gain of only 2. 2nd and 8 coming out. Make it 2nd and 9 as they give Finch only a yard. Roll right, looking to throw. Got the corner turn if he wants to run, and he does. Sticks his head in there.
Boy, he just ran through them. The Gophers are hanging on and knocking no one down.
That was Jerry Lee Brown who got there but could not make the tackle. Finally, they forced him out of bounds, but it's a gain of 8. And Toby Richardson, in a district with a lot of quarterbacks with maybe some better credentials, is making a pretty strong bid to become the all-district signal caller for this season.
46 is in for the Gophers, which is interesting. He's not on the roster.
3rd down, a short yard. Ball just outside the 15. Arterberry's at tailback. Finch is checked out again. This is Arterberry. He has the 1st down. Didn't get much, but he got enough. Sean Lockwood wrapped around his ankles. That's a gain of 2 for
I believe
Arterberry.
they're not going. They might get one more playoff, Russell. 16 seconds. They'll move the change and start the clock right now. Mac's going to go to the sidelines. This will end the 3rd quarter.
It was not a good 3rd quarter for Grand Prairie. They go in trailing 14-7. They come out trailing 28-7. And the Cardinals are at the Gopher 15. We'll be back with the final quarter of action in just a moment.
After this joyride, I'm out of the crash dummy business for good.
But Vince, it's a great job. Heck, they'd have to pry me away from it.
Anybody home? Larry, they do pry you away.
Oh, yeah.
For years, I've been eating steering wheels. For what?
To prove how safety belts save lives.
But thousands die every year in car accidents because they don't buckle up.
Vince, we're dummies. We don't wear safety belts.
Larry, you really know how to hurt a guy. Hit it!
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Russ Siebert and Mike Lewis, the 4th quarter about to begin. MacArthur just inside the 15, 1st and 10. Counterplay. Finch is hit very hard by Forsythe that stood up at the 16. Maybe a loss of a yard. Forsythe is hurt.
And Finch is trying to help him. Get him to lay down.
It's a little easier to be magnanimous when you're up by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I could always be Mr. Personality and Mr. Sportsmanship if I was up 28-7 and knocking on the door to go 35 zip.
The intensity of things has quelled a bit. It was very physical and a lot of pushing and shoving and fighting going on.
Well, I think
in the
that's
3rd
typical,
quarter.
Russell, coming out. Both coaches told them, MAC coaches said, okay, you scored 14 points, you could have scored some more. You let them back in the game with that easy 62-yard pass. You got to come out and get physical. Grand Prairie Gopher coaches said, hey, you're still in the game. You got beat all the 1st half, 14-7, but you can still win this ball game, but you got to come out there and get physical. So basically, you get that in the 3rd quarter. Now both teams are tired, and a little bit of that physicalness is gone.
Loss of 1 yard on the play. 2nd down and 11. Arterberry now back in at tailback. Finch takes the seat. 2 tight end set. Richardson looks to throw, is going to run. Now pulls up, got a man wide open, picked off at the goal line. Good block, look out. He's up the sideline, but there's going to be a clip.
Got a clip at the 10.
Bring it back.
Greg Bland at the 10-yard line. Nobody sees it, but we're going to have the ball on our 5-yard line, folks.
Picked off by Lee Robinson at the goal line. A horrible pass by Toby Richardson. He had a man wide open in the back of the end zone and just underthrew it. But that nice run back is going to be brought back, and you're right, 5-yard line, down by 21 points with 11:19 left. But they don't give up any more points, so there is a bright spot to it all. Robinson is probably now thanking his lucky stars that somebody from MacArthur caught him, or he'd have gone 100 yards for nothing.
Because it was a holder. His back foot was in the end zone.
Second interception by Richardson.
Would you call that a big difference? We go from their 45 to back to our 5?
Yeah, you might call that a big difference. McCant checks back in.
Cack says, I'm going to get the pass from my end zone.
And he has had lots of company in his backfield tonight, and they haven't been wearing the same color shirts as his.
Linebackers are playing it soft this time. They're not going to come.
They do back off. Same pass they've been running all day. Can't quite get it. That was intended for Featherston. That has been the pattern of the night. They have completed a couple of them.
One for a touchdown.
One for a touchdown.
Had double coverage that time, 19 and 44 out here with him.
McCants has got a nice throwing motion. He certainly can thread the needle, but that is a tough pass to complete. That's one that you're probably looking at completing maybe 3 times out of 10 anyway because of the nature of the throw.
Well, it's a difficult angle, and you got to arch it over people.
If you complete it, it's a big play, but it's just hard to complete. Wide receivers to both sides, eye in the backfield. The running game has gone nowhere all night. Same pass. Incomplete. This time for Lee. Third and 10 from the 5. Of course, the advantage to that pass is that McCann can throw it early, which is a good deal because he hasn't had any time to throw one late.
Well, both times the linebackers laid off, and I'd be very surprised if they laid off and didn't come in on this play.
I think this is going to get real serious for McCann right here. They shift around. Linebackers are backed up. They are not coming. Slant, incomplete, intended for Dubisky. He was well covered. That's number 25, Quincy Edwards, a sophomore defensive back. Fourth down. They'll punt from their end zone.
Barely have the 15 yards they need to punt. And Mac defense get another standing ovation. Mac's going to get this ball somewhere around our 35 or 40. And we're confused again. I can't believe we don't know who's going to...
McCant about a yard from the back of the end zone. Gets a good snap. They're coming after him. End over end kick. Not a very good punt. Does take a good hop, but out of bounds at the 31. 26-yard, 30, yes, right, 31. That's a 26-yard kick. Flag is on the field. No surprise there.
Holding against them.
That's a first down.
That'd be a first down for us on about the, yeah, it'd have to be right on the button.
Now this will depend on whether or not he kicked it already.
No, not where that flag's thrown.
MacArthur's sending 75 guys on the field because they're not sure what.
Mac's got 103 guys on the field. They're ready for anything.
That's what they're discussing. If the ball had already been kicked, they'll mark that off from the spot where the ball was down. And that apparently is what they're going to do. They're going to say the ball had changed possession.
Well, I don't know. They're walking over here to do that. But we've got defensive and offensive players on the field. Coach Murray wants to understand that call, too.
MacArthur thinks they're on offense. They're sending that bunch out, or maybe not. Jason Lowe is talking things over. He's a linebacker, but now he's going back. Well, I don't know who's playing. The defense is on the field.
Number 8's on the field, and he's definitely an offensive player.
Okay, now we got it figured out. Defense on for the Gophers, offense for MacArthur. 10:59 left.
Still
Cardinals in
excellent,
control.
excellent field position.
.41-yard line. Finch has a lot of room. Woo, is he hit hard.
Kelvin Brooks came up and made a good hit, 57. Jerry Lee with him, Jerry Lee Brown, 42.
Gain of only a couple. Reggie Finch has 90 yards in the second half. 140 for the game. Fullback, ball's on the ground, quarterback falls on it. Richardson will take the 2-yard loss.
Back to third down and 10.
Third MacArthur fumble.
This is one of the bigger statements of the evening, but when Mac has the ball, it's going to be real difficult for the Gophers to score.
Oh, yeah. But that's not entirely different than it's been when the Gophers have the ball.
They're not scoring either.
It's been a rough night on both sides. Nothing much has gone right, and MacArthur has done their part to help the Gophers out. They have a lot of penalties. They have the 2 turnovers deep in Gopher territory. They've tried to contribute, but the Gophers have just been in no position to take advantage. Finch moves to a wing left. First time we've seen this formation. Draw play, but to Canals, he's got a little bit of room.
We're going to get a face mask, and we didn't even get the tackle. We're going to get a face mask call from Kelvin Brooks.
Didn't hang on to it well enough.
Well, that's a tough call, because I'm sure they'll call it accidental.
But 5 yards, and that'll go on to the end of the play. Might put them close enough to at least give the 4th down play a shot. In fact, that may be a first down. It's very close.
It'll be about 4th and 1.
4th and a yard. Offense stays on the field.
Yeah, they're going to go for this.
No point in punting this close.
Well, it's not even 4th.
3rd down, that's right. Played during the play, so they'll get the down over.
I think they'll go for this. 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, probably. You may be right. No quick kick.
I'd like to see a quick kick myself.
No quick kick. Two tight ends. Finch has it. He's got a first down. He's got a bunch more than that. Inside the 20 to the 18. 13 yards.
Well, if he stays on the field, he could get close to 200 yards rushing.
He sits at 153 now, and 103 of those are in the second half. He has had a lot of help from his buddies up front, though.
Yeah, the holes are definitely there of that offensive line.
Finch, nobody touches him. Trubisky can't get him. Touchdown.
Well, he got another 18 on that play. I'm going to add that on. His second rushing touchdown, isn't it?
Make it number 3. He's now scored from 18, 32, and 3. Mr. Finch has...
The Gopher fans would get up and go home, but they're stunned.
171 yards for Finch.
Undefeated Gopher team that came in here and looked good. Boy, MacArthur, I'll give your dues. You came out here and won this ball game.
Extra point to come. Snap was low. Kick is good anyway. 35-7. A big red steamroller has trucked into the Gopher Bowl, and it has rolled the Gophers flat.
Say the Gopher players are flat would be an understatement.
Stevenson and Duran back deep to receive. Gophers again having trouble getting the right guys on the field for a special teams play. They've had that difficulty all night long. This has been nothing but an old-fashioned whooping. Henderson to kick. Kicks a low line drive. Marshall fields it at the 20. Coming right, got a little space. Still going out to the 39-yard line. He'll be down there.
There's nobody in this park that loves an offensive line or realizes how tough their job is than me. The Gopher offensive line just did not come to the game tonight.
It has been a long night for Keith in the count. He is still in the ball game. 8:33 left. Jason Jones.
Out of respect for everybody, I have certain rights, and my rights are that when it's this bad, I don't keep stats, but I'll guarantee you we have a negative rushing.
That was John Ferguson, Roland Zamorano. Mr. Zamorano has been involved in a few plays. You know, amazingly, we have heard very little from Jason Lowe, the All-State linebacker. Maybe just because his mates have been getting there before he has a chance to arrive. Second down, call it 15. Lee in motion to this side. McCant back to throw. In big trouble. There's the screen to Duran. He got one block. Jason Lowe makes the play. Two guys try to block him. He breaks it up anyway. They get 8 yards on the play. When the thing first set up, I thought they were good for a lot more than that, but Lowe took on 2 blockers and made the tackle.
I'll tell you what Lowe does. He gets from point A to point B very fast. And when he gets there, like you say, he's angry.
Third down, 7 coming up.
Y'all know this, but we're talking about number 26. He was right there in your screen. He's as big as any of the linemen.
He is a good one. Keithan back to throw, being chased, throws the screen back. Nice move by Stevenson. Doesn't matter, he gets maybe a yard. Once again Lowe, and also number 55, Craig Flashman. Craig's 6 foot 190. He's no small fry himself.
Only good thing you can say about that play, it kept the clock moving.
Fourth down, about 5. Cedillo is on to punt. His last punt went for 4 yards, and this one's not going to do much better. Gets a good hop. That'll be a 9-yard punt. Call it 10. So MacArthur has the football. They have a 35-7 lead. This game was close at halftime. It was 14-7. But total second half
domination. Not close in who was controlling the ball game.
No, that's true. MacArthur dominated the first half, but because of their mistakes and the big touchdown pass, Gophers were still in it. But they have been absolutely manhandled since then.
Well, there's some substitutions for Mac now.
New running back, I believe. I don't think that was Stinch. We'll check that. Richardson's still in the ball game. That was number 38, I believe, and if so, that would be Tony Anderson.
He's a senior, 5'10", running back.
If he's the backup tailback, I don't think he probably expected to get to play tonight, because on paper, you could not have figured this game would be this one-sided.
No, it was a toss-up.
General consensus had MacArthur a slim favorite, 5-6 points. It has not turned out that way. Anderson, look out. He breaks the tackle. He's got a first down. And I tell you what.
Tackled by Eddie Garcia, but Gophers are flat. They're just going through the motions right now.
I've got a little age on me, but I think I could have run through that hole.
Folks, next week we'll be bringing you the South Grand Prairie Warriors and their game against the new entry into the district. The DeSoto Eagles will be in town to play the Warriors. Don't know much about DeSoto unless we're playing baseball.
DeSoto has been scoring a lot of points, but they've been scoring it against 4A opponents, so we'll have to see how they do tonight against 5A competition. That's Anderson again. He's got about 3. MacArthur right now just wants to keep the clock running more than anything else. We are down to 5 minutes.
It's called keep the clock running, keep the ball on the ground, and don't get any of their players hurt.
I'm rather surprised that Toby Richardson's still in the ballgame, and just as I say that, that's all for Toby.
Great job. Nice young man. Good quarterback.
Todd Albin.
Not great at anything, but does everything real well.
Todd Albin, a junior, may be the quarterback of the future for MacArthur. Hands off to the dive man on the option. That was the fullback, I believe, 30. Well, it's certainly 31, but I don't have that man on my roster. We'll check that again. That is 37. That'll be Chris Tatum. He's a 175-pound senior.
Some of the starting linemen are starting to come off the field.
Jerry Lee Brown will check out. It has not been a good night for the Gophers. And it doesn't get any better. They got to shake this one off because they got their hands full next Friday night at Duncanville.
And they've got to take that one to really stay in this hunt right now.
If they lose next week, they may be playing for pride the rest of the season after having such high hopes coming in. 3rd and 2. Breaks a tackle, first down.
Stops the clock to move the chains.
Tony Anderson. Reggie Finch will finish tonight with 171 yards.
I didn't have much trouble keeping up with the Gopher stats. The leading rusher was probably Jones with about 12 yards.
19 carries for 171 yards. That's over 8 yards a pop.
Folks, you're watching this game Saturday morning. If you want to see some real football, come out and watch Grand Prairie Youth Football Association football at Adams Junior High School all day, 50 cents admission. And don't look for the Cowboys Sunday.
Fullback breaks through. He's got 8 yards. That's Chris Tatum.
As the Cowboys will be playing Monday night.
You know, I bet Gene Stallings was thinking, well, you know, I'm going to be 0-3, but I'll sneak up on those Cowboys because they're going to be 3-0, and I have a shot at them.
Gene would, and I don't, but have you seen the list of injured players at the Cardinals? I mean, there's like 8 or 9 players that they were supposed to start the season with.
They've got more Pro Bowl players on injured reserve than most teams have ever had Pro Bowl players. Roy Green will not play. Otis Anderson will not play.
Willie won't play.
Hilliam's career may be over as he has a neck injury.
Right.
And Herschel Walker may play a lot, and that can't be good news for anybody. Look out. To the corner. Can't get him. End zone. 41-7. Not only does Tony Anderson get into a game that he probably didn't expect to play in, but he gets to score a touchdown, and he's got about 50 yards rushing.
Yeah, already. Well, that was a substitute quarterback, substitute running back, and then you say, well, when you get ahead, well, the trouble is when you get ahead and those guys have been working out while you're getting the game, they want to show, they want to shine, and you can't blame them for that.
Extra point to come.
Excuse me.
That slides through there. 28 unanswered points. It is 42-7.
Well, you know, we talk sometimes about the fat lady, you know, getting ready to sing. She sang about 5 minutes into the 3rd quarter. She's already gone home, had a nice bath, bottle of scotch, and she's gone to bed.
It has not been a pretty sight if you're a Gopher fan, and you folks in Irving, you have got a pretty good football team over there, guys. Before tonight, I was willing to concede Duncanville the district championship, and I'm going to renege on that. I kind of think this team has a real shot.
We haven't seen them play Duncanville yet, but that'd be a ball game, wouldn't it? And I tell you, this is a crazy district. 1 loss, you're not out, and sometimes 2 losses, you're not out. But you don't want to have your 2 losses against the other 2 teams that you're fighting against, because them old tiebreakers will kill you.
In the past, this district has been one of the more competitive top to bottom. That really is not necessarily the case this year. There really are some teams that are considerably above the others in talent. These 2 are 2 of them.
But Gophers just didn't come and play tonight. that's not taking anything away from MacArthur. They're a good ball club.
Stevenson looking for a gap, finds one. He's out to the 39.
Fred's a nice-looking sophomore, isn't he? Good speed, aggressive runner.
He does
There he is in the picture right there, standing beside Cedric Lee. Of course, old Cedric, number 23, he's a junior too, and Jason Jones is a junior. So 40, 23, and 20 are all underclassmen. But that whole offensive line is seniors.
Cedillo is in the ball game. Keith and McCann fans can now rest easy. He will not get hammered anymore this evening.
We're running the clock out, folks, if you're wondering what we're doing here.
74, Roland Zamorano just said to Cedric Lee, been nice playing with you. Knocked the holy dickens out of him, gain of only a yard. Folks on the Gopher side have headed home for brighter days.
Russell, this has been fun, especially before the game started. It was really exciting before they said kickoff.
Cedillo back to throw. He's under pressure. Nothing new there. They throw the out. First time we've seen that today. It's incomplete, intended for Marshall.
Well, the out's a good pass right now because those defensive backs are going to wheel back and give them plenty of room. Of course, I mean, I think we can throw the long ball 3 times and still be down 28-42.
MacArthur band across the way.
They're having a real good time. They ought to. The ball club did an excellent job. The Gophers will be back. You watch. They'll be back. Look out for something to happen in Duncan. Too much pride. Too many seniors on this team.
And they sure got nowhere to go but up. Flags are down. Cedillo's in trouble. Breaks away. He's got a lot of room.
But we got a flag down, like Russell said.
Couple of them, actually. One on either side. Cedillo looks unhappy. That could be an offside or illegal procedure call.
No holding, illegal procedure on them. Let's take the play. We need about 4 more of those to just get into positive rushing picture. Cedillo's acting like he's a little shaken up.
1:44 left. 42-7. This was a 14-7 game at halftime.
I play a lot of football, and I know what Coach Murray's thinking right now. I'm going to guess that he said, what do you work on? The rushing, the passing, the defensive line didn't hold, the offensive line didn't do their job. You know, I got about 3 or 4 days of work, and I got to go to Duncanville.
There is no one area to pinpoint because it's all kind of falling apart tonight. Cedillo back to throw, looking on the quick post, intercepted. Flag down, that'll be a clip.
Cedillo threw the interception and went and made the tackle.
Pass picked off by number 44, Chris Henderson, who also does all the kicking.
Now, sometimes the wheels fall off, and then the luggage rack falls off, the radiator falls off.
Call is against MacArthur, but they're going to run a couple of plays into the middle of the line, and they're going to take home a 42-7 thrashing.
Of course, now don't count old new running back Ian Anderson out. He said, hey,
that's true.
I'm here. Showtime.
49-7's only a heartbeat away. A lot of people might have expected MacArthur to win, but I doubt anybody expected this kind of dominance.
Nobody was giving MacArthur and giving up 30 points or 35 or whatever.
And if you had 35 in the over-under today, you're doing real well.
You probably got some tremendous odds. Of course, we just do that for fun.
1st and 10, 22-yard line, fullback over the top. He just trying to hang on to the football. They'll unstack them.
Sometimes the clock just doesn't run fast enough.
As Mike mentioned, this ball game was over for all intent and purposes when MacArthur got the touchdown early in the 3rd quarter. We'll probably have one more play, and that may be it. MacArthur obviously taking their time. Fumble. Scramble.
Stops the clock. Well, they haven't stopped the clock.
The clock is running. Apparently MacArthur fell on it, and that will do it.
They won't run another play. Russell, I would have rather been at Jim's Pizza or K-Bob's than here tonight.
Yeah, you know you're right. It has not been good. The main course for this evening was Gopher, and the Cardinals took their fill. As we count down, MacArthur goes 1-0 in district with an incredibly impressive 42-7 win over the defending district champion Grand Prairie, a team that returned almost everyone from that district championship squad, and they got their behinds kicked. Quite frankly, they have got to come back against Duncanville next week, and MacArthur is looking like a playoff contender. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Once again, our final score, Irving MacArthur 42, Grand Prairie 7. We'll be back here for DeSoto and South Grand Prairie next week. For the entire Store Cable crew and Mike Lewis, Russ Siebert saying good night. See you next week.